Lost in the exultant joy of Baldur's Gate 3 and its tremendous success and how it's potentially going to be a game of the year, as well as the return of Bethesda with their new space game, their game that is their first new IP, a new RPG for that group in 25 years. Well, we may be losing sight of what might be a great tragedy in the making, one that is going to bring sadness to fans of games like Dragon Age Origins, Jade Empire, and Mass Effect. And that is some struggle happening over at Bioware, and some of the issues that may be impacting games like Dragon Age 4 and Mass Effect. For this video, we're going to be specifically talking about Dragon Age 4 and why it might be in trouble. There's been a lot of news the last few months about Dragon Age 4, but unfortunately, none of it has been particularly good, and that has me asking, is it time to worry? A little bit of backstory from me. I first played Dragon Age Origins when it launched on PlayStation 3. It filled a void that had been left for me in the RPG space when I finally finished Oblivion, especially the console RPG. I'd go on to play Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, both of which in some ways for me paled in comparison to the original, but were still fun and engaging in their own way. But I wasn't a stranger to Bioware. I'd loved Jade Empire and Mass Effect, but I'd also missed some of their older games while busy toiling away in MMOs like EverQuest, Star Wars Galaxies, and World of Warcraft. Notably Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, as well as the revered Neverwinter Nights and Knights of the Old Republic games. But Dragon Age always stood out to me. It was a dark and gritty, but it had its comedic moments. It was an RPG that took to heart what it means to be an RPG, providing a deep story and engaging and inciting world alongside player agency. And it did all this while adding in romance, adventure, and fireballs, and traps. Oh, we've avoided the trap. We avoided that. So many traps. So when I heard that Dragon Age 4 was coming out, I was freaking ecstatic. I was so happy. I even made videos on this channel delving into its potential release date because I just wanted to start theory crafting about it. I just wanted the game as soon as possible, and I wanted to start delving into it as soon as possible. In the background of that excitement though, there has been a painful silence. And then the start of an alarm, a slow, gradually increasing alarm. The silence has come with any real substantive news about the game's release date since the last teaser trailer we got in December of 2022. We got a little bit of good news, depending on your view of the subject, when back in 2021, Dragon Age 4 announced they dropped live service plans for the title. We've gotten a few tidbits here and there with Bioware blog updates, but it's the last two updates that have raised what may have once been muted concerns into full-scale panic for some people. Back in June, we got news and an accompanying Bioware update regarding their current major ongoing project, one that's been ongoing for 12 years, Star Wars The Old Republic. The MMO, despite optimism expressed by Bioware, is facing an uncertain future as it is, well, no longer part of Bioware. EA has shipped the MMO that reportedly made over $1 billion for the company to what amounts to an MMO graveyard, Broadsword. This isn't a knock on Broadsword. They have been admirable stewards of Ultima Online and DAOC over the years, but they haven't exactly been active stewards. When was the last time you heard of a new development with one of these two venerable MMOs? With this move, Bioware saw layoffs, with the promise that some of Star Wars The Old Republic's team would be moving over to Broadsword, roughly about half of them or so, and others might be able to find new positions within EA to work on their flagship games. You know, they're the games that people that really know Bioware for, single player RPGs. If there was any silver lining in this blog post about what was happening to Star Wars The Old Republic, one that I will again mention comes with a human cost to the people that have been laid off from this team, talented individuals who no longer have a job working on what they want to do. But the little tiny silver lining was this. As we look toward the future, Bioware is focused on being a leader in developing immersive, emotionally charged single-player games, with teams primarily in Austin and Edmonton. This means a renewed focus on our two key franchises, Dragon Age and Mass Effect. For Dragon Age, we continue to build, polish, and tune an exceptional experience we know our fans will love. We can't wait to share more on this soon. For Mass Effect, we continue pre-production with a core team of veteran storytellers who are bringing the deep franchise history forward in a spectacular new way. It sounds like good news for fans of the single-player RPGs, right? Good news for Bioware. Except it doesn't seem like it is. 2 months later, we got some news from Bioware that rattled pretty much everyone that has been watching Bioware at all, because it seems to be inconsistent with this other idea of focusing on their single-player RPGs. In a blog post titled "An Update on the State of Bioware," the big news dropped. Bioware is shifting to a more agile and focused studio. Similar language was used in the prior announcement with Star Wars: The Old Republic, and what it really means is more layoffs, more people losing their jobs. It's not just the layoffs though, it's who is being laid off that really started to raise a lot of alarms. Of the 50 people being laid off, Lucas Chris Jansen, who was the lead writer behind Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, as well as the writer of all 3 Dragon Age games, is gone. As is Mary Kirby, who had been with Bioware since 2006, back when I was still in high school. With the loss of these 2 key members of the team go the creators of memorable characters like Minsk, Joker, and Varric. DualShockers reported on the layoff, and they were kind enough to pull up Mary Kirby's tweet on the subject, which, damn, man, this one hurts to read. Like, I feel so bad. Someone hire these people, please. Someone hire them now. Get them working on other games. Get them writing again. I wanted to share an update here, which is kind of a nice thing that I saw in the editing of this video that wasn't there when I wrote the script for it. And it's a response from Mary Kirby about how things are progressing for her. This is all on top of the leaks that show a very different type of Dragon Age, one that removes the ability to switch party members and looks more like a God of War action-style combat than the strategic combat Dragon Age was also known for. That alone had me in the very concerned camp, because Dragon Age is a series that has been kind of marked by its decisions on change, things that they have done, like the major change from going from a personal RPG-like story to a scripted story in Dragon Age 2, and then back to a more open world type story with Inquisition. All very unique decisions, big shifts in how the game played out, and all very different in certain ways from how the original Dragon Age Origins played. And this, the 4th iteration, could potentially also be extremely different from not just the first game, but all of the Dragon Age games, if the leaks are to be believed. Only time will tell what happens with Dreadwolf. Will it launch? Will its troubled development, which has already seen at least one restart, give us a Dragon Age Inquisition, or will it be more like a Mass Effect Andromeda? In the meantime, if you are looking for a RPG that will fully engage you, that will make you think of the great days of Dragon Age Origins, I cannot recommend Baldur's Gate 3 enough. In fact, I have done a couple of different videos on that. This one right here talks about how I may have actually committed a massacre on accident when I didn't really mean to, and that's why I think that Baldur's Gate 3 is so damn special. And yes, Redcliffe gets a mention. Redcliffe from Dragon Age Origins. My name is Redbeard Flame, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.